It's like half an hour till England kick off. By the time this is actually uploaded, who knows what state I'll be in. Future is a rapper that you all know by now, I think. Anyway, he's just gained so much popularity through mixtapes, through kind of oversaturating the market with multiple projects a year, collaboration projects. The last one with Young Thug, which went over not really that well actually. A lot of people weren't impressed with it, but of course, a few years back, the Drake collaboration seemed to cross over to a lot of people. Dirty Sprite 2 has become a very well received trap album in the trap era of music, which I didn't really enjoy when I heard, apart from a few songs off of the album, to be honest. So, you know, I guess I can say I'm not really the biggest Future fan. But this Beast Mode 2 I thought I'd go into just, you know, thinking maybe this could be something that I really enjoy. But I guess it's just kind of the same as other Future projects, to be honest. I like a couple of songs. I like the first song, Wi-Fi Lit. Don't really know what that means. My ignorance is showing here, but you know, Future kind of rambles on a lot and says a lot of things. But actually, you know, I think his flow is pretty decent on this one. I think usually he just kind of mumbles way too much. The auto-tune gets way too ear grating. But I think on this mixtape, actually, it generally sounds pretty good. Lyrically, Future isn't anything that you're gonna be like, you know, going crazy over, but that's not the point of Future anyway. I'm sure he knows that, his fans know that. But you know, there isn't anything on here that I'm like cringing over, or there isn't anything on here that I feel like is just completely just void of any sort of lyrical talent. It's just not really the main focus, and as someone that puts lyrics pretty high, I guess I'm just not really finding much here from Future at all. I don't know, man. He just says a lot of shit that just doesn't really impact me in any kind of way. But generally, I'm bored of like the stale, generic production that you get with trap releases, and especially with Future as well. His ad-libs kind of get redundant and overblown and just But here I think Zaytoven's production offers quite nice melodies and good melodic interplay within the beats, and you know, the different sort of sounds that he comes up with across these tracks. It's not really something that's special or something that's not been done before, but it actually highlights Future on this release, in my opinion, because previously his mumbling just kind of gets really monotonous and the beats don't have much pace to them. But then here, I think it's actually a lot better than what I usually get. I do think the hook one, when I think about it, is the worst one here though. I just think the overuse of when I think about it, like, it just gets really boring to me. And I don't know, I just think sometimes Future should just bring on someone else to do a hook. Like, I think he would benefit a lot from that, but on this case, he tries something a little bit different and I just don't really enjoy it. However, on the last track with the I get high as I can, I get high as I can, I think that actually works kind of well. Mostly because it's kind of self-deprecating in a way. I think Futures can be quite good at that sort of twist on the content, in the sense that he can be quite like depressing and sort of focusing on the hardships that he's facing, as opposed to just rapping about general everyday sort of rapping things or trapping things. You know, this showcases that Future has a little bit more to him than your average trap rapper, in my opinion, and I don't know, I think he can sometimes sell it quite well. I don't really know what to say. I guess this is kind of Future by the numbers. If you're a big Future fan, then you're gonna love this, because it just gives you what you want from Future, and it's the kind of music you're already into anyway. But if you're ambivalent on Future, then I think you're just gonna remain the same on Future, just like I am, and I think a lot more people are starting to become that way about him. But I don't know if that's just because of how many projects he puts out, and people are kind of just like, yeah, I'm not really interested in this. For me though, I think there are some actually quite decent moments on here. Just to be honest, nothing I'd return to or nothing I'm gonna get excited over. But as a project, I found it quite listenable and some enjoyable moments. So I think that's something to take away from it. But still, I'm gonna go 5 out of 10. In this sense, I guess I can be a little bit traditionalist when it comes to rap. I just want a bit more with my content and a bit more intricacies with the beats. And even though this is an improvement on the production, definitely since his last few couple of projects, in my opinion, I don't really think there's enough here to make me excited or like going crazy over. But I guess we'll have to see, because to be honest, I think as time goes on, Future's gonna just fall by the wayside and become a product of its time, and people will remember him of for being of that time, as opposed to being remembered in a timeless sense. And you know, like in 5 years people aren't going to be like raving about him, to be honest. But we'll see if I'm wrong about that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts if you've given this a listen. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. La-di-da-di-da.